There is the sayings in the scriptures that there were even more Buddhas than there are grains of sand in all of the river Ganges. So that would be a lot. And there are these world cycles. You have contraction, expansion, that is one world cycle. And in one world cycle, there can be 0 to 5 Buddhas. Either none, or 1, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. And in our cycle, this is the so-called lucky cycle, where are 5 Buddhas. So 4 have been here, and 1 is to come. And each of the Buddhas arising, or let's say like each of the cycle also consists of smaller cycles. This is all what's in the Theravada scriptures. You will find something similar in Hindu scriptures too, but I do not know the Hindu scriptures, so I can speak only about our scriptures. And there is explained that let's start in the way the Buddha says it. So first, there is the wheel-turning monarch. Here, wheel is the world wheel. Because in the Buddhist understanding, my interpretation is that the Buddha didn't want to teach people astronomy or astrophysics. So that's where you will find flat earth in the Buddhist scriptures. I believe that if the Buddha started to teach that the world is round, regardless whether he knew it or not, let's hypothetically think that the Buddha thought that the world is round and it runs around the sun. Even if the Buddha taught this, it would cause only problems to him, because everybody knows that the world is flat in the Buddha's time, right? Now we know that the world is spherical, but in the Buddha's time, the people didn't know it. So even if the Buddha knew it, so again, we do not care whether he knew it or not. Let's say that he knew it. Even if the Buddha knew it, whenever he would start to speak to people as that the world is actually a sphere and that it runs around the sun, people will consider him as mad, and they will not listen about ethics, about meditation, about wisdom. So it would not help the Buddha in the teachings. So this is my own personal interpretation. All right? And now, wheel-turning monarch is a monarch of the wheel. He's the monarch of the world wheel. And this great monarch, when he arises in the world, the people's age is 200,000. The lifespan of the people is 200,000. And the wheel-turning monarch is very ethical. He's very, very ethical. Also, when he becomes 150,000 years old, a gray hair appears on his head. And when his barber says, "Oh, dear king, a gray hair appeared on your head," then the king trembles with fear of death. And he relinquishes his throne to his son and becomes an ascetic in the forest. But as the time goes, one of the generations of this wheel-turning monarch, when he is 150,000 years old, and his barber says there is a gray hair on his head, he does not relinquish his throne to his son. He does not become an ascetic. And that's where it goes wrong. So then he is, of course, greedy. When he's greedy, he doesn't give the people as much as they need. When he doesn't give people as much as they need, they start to steal. When they steal, the king asks the thieves whether they stole. Then they learn to tell a lie. When they learn to tell a lie and to steal, the king decides to kill them for their crimes. And like this, the morality gradually decreases in the humanity, and with that, the age, the lifespan. And it decreases and decreases from 200 to gradually whatever, 150,000, 100,000, 50,000, whatever, 20,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. all the way until a certain age. So this is the decreasing period. This is very important. This is the decreasing period. And during that decreasing period, at one point, the Buddha arises. It's at the point when the Chakravarti, or the wheel-turning monarch, is not available in the world. The Buddha arises, he teaches his teaching, some people become enlightened, some may learn something, some may start to be good persons, whatever, but the lifespan will continue to decrease. Even after the Buddha arose in the world. Always. This is the way how the cycle works. The lifespan will decrease gradually until 10 years of age. Now you need to remember that you could say, well, wasn't this the time of plague in Europe, or wasn't this the time of great wars, or let's say the Second World War, when the lifespan would be whatever, smaller because there were so many deaths. Average lifespan. Then you need to remember the details. When the humanity has the average lifespan of 10 years, at that time, people get married when they are 5. People get married when they're 5. So today, if we look at it biologically, there's this asexual period, I think somewhere between 7 to 10, I'm not sure. So it would not work today. Today, marriage at the age of 5 is not the case yet. That's what the scriptures say. And then, at that time, it's very violent. The age decreases because of the decrease in ethics. There's no other reason for that. There's more violence, more disrespect toward parents, toward each other, toward doing good deeds, toward generosity. There's a huge violence, wars, crimes. Doing good deeds is laughable. Doing bad deeds is appreciated and awarded. Killing is the reason for award. Giving or respecting is the reason for mocking. So gradually the ethics decreases more and more and more, all the way until the time when people's average lifespan is 10 years. And they would get married when they are 5. At that time also, it's common that at that time it's much more common these. Now I need to say diplomatically, so it's much more common these sexual differences, So it's more common that fathers would have sex with their daughters, their mothers would have sex with their sons, and homosexuality is also mentioned, not by the Buddha, but by the commentaries. So this doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with homosexuals. It just means that the commentaries show that this kind of divergency, or this kind of difference, appears in a multitude, in a larger scale. If we take this very practically, when there are more homosexuals, then of course there will be less of offspring. So imagine that in the world, let's say 80% would be homosexuals, then the 20% would be responsible for the next generation. So this would not be particularly appreciated from those who believe in reproduction. Then at that time, when the society is extremely violent, when crimes are appreciated, good deeds are not appreciated, at that time a group of people comes together and say, hey, what about if we don't kill? Let's try it. Let's see if we don't kill, if we don't steal. Let's try it. So this group of these several people, they decide that they will not kill. And for their amazement, for their surprise, their lifespan is longer. Let's say 15 years. So they're amazed. They think, hey, we didn't kill and our lifespan is longer. What if we don't even steal? If they didn't kill. Then they stop stealing and they see that their lifespan is even longer. So then they try to avoid adultery, they avoid lies, they avoid, drinking alcohol, and gradually the lifespan increases. So now we are in the increasing period. So there was the decrease period, now it's the increase period. During the increase period, no Buddha can appear. So at the climax of the increase period, there is the king, there is the wheel-turning monarch. When there is the lifespan decreasing, there is the Buddha. So now I will go a little bit more into details. How does this decrease look like? So now we had a Buddha, so now of course the question will be, aren't we increasing in the lifespan? Or where is it, this 10 years lifespan? When it is coming? Shouldn't it be here already? Isn't it late? So the timetable is that the Buddha becomes the Buddha, and the Buddha's teachings in this very case is supposed to be there 5,000 years. The first 1,000 years after the Buddha, the monks will attain full enlightenment, including the discriminative knowledge. That means they will be able to discriminate the phenomena as they are with immensely precise and very deep wisdom. Discriminating phenomena means discriminating matter and mind, such as discriminating the element of solidity, cohesion, motion, temperature, and so on and so on and so on. Very deep philosophy. So this very deep philosophy would be genuinely part of these fully enlightened persons. After 1,000 years, it is no more possible to attain this kind of great level of enlightenment. It will be possible to attain full enlightenment with the 6 psychic powers. 6 psychic powers means that these are maximum, so all minimums are also okay. So I will gradually show you what are the minimums, what are the less stages, but whatever are the less stages, they were available also in the previous 1,000. So the 6 psychic powers, the first one is I call it the play with elements. So making water in the ground so the monk can walk over the water, making air into the ground so the monk can fly in the air, making walls and mountains into the air so the monk can go through them, making ground into water so the monk can sink and appear somewhere else, disappearing here, appearing somewhere else, multiplying the body into thousands, into hundreds, and so on. So this is the first psychic power. Second psychic power is having this is clairvoyance. So knowing, being able to see whatever is happening in the heavens, in the hells, animal realm, ghost realm, anywhere in the human realm, wherever the monk wants to know something, whatever he wants, past, future, present, far, near, anything, he simply knows. Third one is clairaudience, is the same thing, but not for seeing, but for hearing. So he can hear anything he wants, remembering past lives, being able to know another person's mind, telepathy, and the full enlightenment. Altogether, 6 psychic powers. That's the second 1,000. Third 1,000 is the Tevidya, the 3 knowledges which I explained to you with the Buddha. So the knowledge of past lives, of being's past life, the knowledge of one's own past life, the knowledge of the being's past life, present life, and the consequences, and the full enlightenment. So that is for the third 1,000. That's where we are now. But I have some special explanation which is not in the scriptures, which I'll share with you short time after this. Then the fourth time is the ability to attain, I think, is the ability to attain full enlightenment with all 8 jhanas. There are not just 4, but there are 8 altogether. 4 so-called material, 4 immaterial. So with all 8 levels of absorption. The last 1,000 is the time when the monks can attain the full enlightenment, but without any absorption. So they do not attain these deep absorptions. They follow simple axis concentration, upachara samadhi, and with that they become full enlightened. That's again all what the commentaries suggest. After these 5,000 years, the full enlightenment is no more possible, and it will be gradually possible to attain only the third level of enlightenment, then only the second level of enlightenment, then only the first level of enlightenment. Then even the first level of enlightenment will not be available. At that time, the last book of the scriptures, that is Patthana, but let's summarize this. The last of the three baskets of the scriptures, namely Abhidhamma Pitaka, will be forgotten. Then the second portion of the Buddhist scriptures, namely the Sutta, the Buddha's discourses, will be forgotten. Then the last, the Vinaya, the monks' rules, will be forgotten. Only what will remain will be just the monks' rules. Then gradually the monks' rules will also be forgotten, and the king, at one point, the king will make the decision that if there is anybody who remembers one verse of the Buddha's teachings, he will give him a huge amount of money if he comes and recites it. You know, like today you can go to internet and just read all of the 40 scriptures, all of the 40 books. At the time when the Buddha's teachings is all entirely gone, you know, at that time, the king, when he decides that he wants to read one single verse of the Buddha's teachings, that's 2 short lines, not 40 books. 2 short lines. And there is nobody anywhere to come and recite it, then this is the time when the Buddha's teachings has disappeared. And then at that moment, there will be long period when people may become Buddhas by themselves. So because of what they did in their previous lives, they will be born in that world where is no Buddha, no Buddha's teachings, no verse, nobody to help. They will just sit down for meditation. They will think, hey, this is comfortable. Let me see what's this. Hey, breath, that's interesting. Let me see. And then they become fully enlightened by themselves. But they will not be able to teach it to anybody. They will be able to understand it for themselves fully, but they are not able to express it, to explain it in a comprehensible way to anybody. And there may be thousands, hundreds of thousands of them. And then after this period, a wheel-turning monarch may arise. Then I suppose this would be the end of the increasing period. And then gradually, as the age gradually decreases, then the other Buddha, let's say in this case the Buddha Metteya, or in Sanskrit Maitreya, would arise in the world. For Buddha Maitreya, Metteya, the lifespan will not be 100, it will be, I don't remember, 100,000 or a little bit more than that. So that is what we find in some. Here I gave you basically summary of all the strata of the Buddhist scriptures. Some things are in the main scriptures, something commentaries, some things are not in the scriptures at all. There's just some Pali book that survived. So as many details as possible.